what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is DaRealLegend, and we are back with some NBA 2K Mobile. As you can see on the screen, Halloween packs are officially here. In today's video, I'm going to break down which players are worth targeting, which players you should be crafting, and who are the best players for this team. So now let's get into the breakdown. I've been acquiring a lot of new subscribers recently, so big shout out to everybody. But there's a good chance that some of you might have not seen my breakdown videos before, so I'll go into a little quick summary. And I'm also going to be introducing a new stat that I added to the breakdowns. So what I do with the breakdown videos, I incorporate all the stats for every single player in the theme, and I tell you what their overall stat average is. But what I also added going forward, because I'm realizing that there are other factors that determine how good a player is, like gameplay and how good they truly fit on your team. So I came up with a metric called the true position rating, in which I will give a rating for that player based on the position they play on the squad. All right, so now that we discussed that, let's get into this breakdown. We're going to go into the traditional format where I do the top 5, but we're going to also bring back the positions. So I'm going to go into the top 5 for each position, the top 5 craftable players, and the best team overall, based off of stats, power, and now the newly introduced true position rating. All right, so we're going into the point guards for this team. Based off of stats, right, we're going to rank them from 5 to 1. Number 5 will be Goran Dragic. Now, Goran Dragic, if you look at his stats, he's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, a 5 in mid-range, a 5 in three-point shot, and a 5 in playmaking. Those are all pretty good stats. At number 4, we got Trae Young, who's got a 5 in agility, a 5 in playmaking, and a 5 in three-point shot. Now, to make the video a little bit shorter, I'm not going to go over the weaknesses. We'll just talk about the strengths of the players, because once I go over the true position rating, it will make a little bit more sense for the players. Now we're going to go into Tony Parker, who's number 3 overall. He's recently got a stat buff as well, because his stats before weren't as good. So he's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, a 5 in mid-range shooting, and a 5 in playmaking. And number 2, remember, this is based off of stats, right? Some players need an increase. Steph Curry is definitely one of those, but he's the number 2 point guard for this team based off of stats. He's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, a 5 in mid-range shooting, a 5 in three-point shot, a 5 in agility, and a 5 in playmaking. I'm going to spend a little more time on Curry, because I really feel like he needs a stat increase in shoot-off dribble, mid-range shooting, and three-point shot. He's one of those players that should have the highest rating for shooting, and his shooting stats should be similar to Peja Stojakovic. And then the number 1 point guard overall, based off stats, is Ben Simmons. He's got a 5 in layups and dunks, a 5 in agility, a 5 in playmaking, and he's got a lot of 4s. This will be your top 5 for your true point guard rating. And this is where I took into consideration the stats that matter the most for the point guard position. So at number 5, even though Ben Simmons has the best stats overall, some of his stats are not true point guard stats. So we have to factor in that. And to be honest with you, it's the lack of the shot that really hurts Ben Simmons and the shoot-off dribble. At number 4, we got Goran Dragic. What hurts Goran is the lack of defending. Number 3 is Trae Young. What hurts Trae Young in comparison to the other 2 players I'm going to name is his mid-range shot is a 4 and his shoot-off dribble is only a 4. Number 2, we got Tony Parker, right? So you see how if we factor in the right stats, Tony Parker has more value than what the stat averages will show, which really proves that these players need stat buffs, right? And number 1 is Steph Curry. Now, when I break down the stats for the shooting guards, the small forwards, and the power forwards, the overall stat average is a pretty good indicator of how they are as far as their position as well. When I did the true position breakdown, the ranking is the same for shooting guard, small forward, and power forward. So we'll save some time there and not go into those breakdowns. I'll just tell you the top 5. And then the centers is where we'll see the difference again. So number 5 for shooting guard is going to be Zach LaVine. What hurts Zach LaVine for a shooting guard is defending is a 3 and his shooting is both a 4. Then we got CJ McCollum. What hurts CJ is that 3 in layups and dunks. Then we got Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal has incredible shooting stats. 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range, 5 in three-point shot, and a 5 in agility. But it's the layups and dunks and the defending that hurt him as well. Then we got DeMar DeRozan, who has more better overall stats. You can see he's got the 5 in shoot-off dribble, the 5 in mid-range, Got a 4 in layups and dunks, a 4 in three-point shot, and that 5 in agility is really nice as well, along with the 4 in defending. And then the best shooting guard, he's also one of the best shooting guards in the game overall, is Dwayne Wade, who's got the 5 in agility, a 5 in shootout dribble, a 5 in mid-range shooting, a 5 in playmaking. That's pretty impressive, and a 5 in defending. What's also impressive is that 4 he has in post scoring. That's the breakdown for the shooting guards. Let's get into small forwards. And number 5 is Michael Porter Jr. Now, it's pretty exciting to have him upgraded in the game and to also have an opportunity. He is one of the rewards in the event. He's got a 5 in agility, which stands out. Aside from that, he's got a lot of 4s, right? And a combination of 3s. Next, we got Gordon Hayward, who I think is a gem for this team. Gordon Hayward has a 5 in mid-range shooting and a 5 in three-point shot. Aside from that, he's got 4s and 3s. Harrison Barnes is another gem. And I say they're gems because for their rarity, they have pretty good stats, right? He's got a 5 in agility, and then across the board, he's got a bunch of 4s. And then at number 2, this dude just got a stat buff. And I'm telling you, NBA 2K Mobile really hooked up Carmelo. Nuggets Melo, which is the throwback Melo, has some incredible stats. And I tweeted this out yesterday. He is a gem. So with the stat buffs and everything, Melo's overall stat average is a 4.3 now, which is pretty high for small forwards. And then LeBron will always be number 1 because his overall stat average is a 4.9. He's got 5s all over the board except for rebounding, which is a 4. Now let's go into the power forwards. So the power forwards only have 4. So this will be a much smaller list. At number 4 is going to be Larry Nance Jr. He has a lot of area of opportunities, and what hurts him compared to the other power forwards is he doesn't have a three-point shot. Right, that's really what helps all their other averages go up a lot. Aside from that, his rebounding stats aren't that impressive, neither are his post scoring. 3 is Chris Bosh, who I think is one of my favorite power forwards in this game. He's got a mid-range at a 4, three-point shot is a 4, his post scoring is a 5. He's very good at the catch and fade. He can make those for your squad, and he's very smooth to use. Now, Bosh, what hurts him, he's not the best rebounder, he's also not the best defender, he's pretty average, but still good enough to get a good rating in this game. And we got Kevin Love, who I spoke about recently. He is very good. Like, if you get him at a lower rarity when you start off, he can hold down your team for a bit. He's got a 5 in three-point shot and a 5 in post scoring. But check this out, he's also got a 5 in strength and a 5 in rebounding. All very important stats. That 3 in defending is what really hurts him. And then last but not least, Giannis also comes up in the conversation as one of the top players. He's got a 4.6 overall stat average. He's got a 5 in layups and dunks, 5 in agility, 5 in rebounding, 5 in playmaking, 5 in defending, and 5 in post scoring, which makes him very elite. And if you want more breakdowns of these players, I have a tier list for every position in the game and a few other videos after that, which will give you more insight into how good these players really are. Now we're going to go into the centers. The center position also only has 4. But for the center position, I also did the true position rating for it as well. So we'll start with the stat average. The lowest overall stat average is DeAndre Jordan, and it's low. And you can see he's got a lot of bad stats. But a big reason why I wanted to come up with this true position rating is because I don't think it's fair that we count the three-point shot, mid-range, and shootout dribble against the centers. I had to come up with a different system. But aside from that, he's got a 5 in strength, a 5 in rebounding, and a 5 in layups and dunks. Kind of similar to Rudy Gobert, so if you need a center and don't expect anything else, DeAndre's your guy. But he's also one of the rewards for the event. So he's not that great of a reward, but if you need a diamond themed center, it's going to help you out, especially when you're trying to boost up your power to get those pink diamond rewards. Then number 3, we got Clint Capella. Clint Capella, similar to DeAndre, he's got rebounding, strength, and layups and dunks. And he's got a 4 in defending, along with that 4 in agility. Then at number 2, based off of stats, right, it's Shaquille O'Neal. Again, same thing. What hurts Shaq is the mid-range and the three-point shot and the shoot-off dribble. If you ignore that, 5 in layups and dunks, 5 in post scoring, 5 in strength, 5 in rebounding, and a 5 in defending. The dude is dominant. He is a beast. And number 1 overall stat average is Nikola Jokic. He's got a 5 in strength, 5 in rebounding, 5 in mid-range shooting, He's got a 5 in post scoring as well, along with a 4 in 3-point shot, which is pretty decent, and a 4 in shoot off dribble. Now we're going to go into the true position. DeAndre is still the lowest center of the batch. Then we got Clint Capella. But now we're going to flip 1 and 2, right? Jokic is going to be the second true center. And that's mainly because his defending rating is so low. And his layups and dunks. When you look at Shaq, he's got a 5 in defending and a 5 in layups and dunks. So that really made a big difference. The best 5 is number 5 is Jokic. Number 4 is Melo. 3 is Dwayne Wade. Number 2 is Giannis. And number 1 is LeBron. Remember, that's based off of stats. Now, if we factor in the true position rating, number 5 is going to be Dwayne Wade. Number 4 will be Giannis. Number 3 will be LeBron. Second will be Shaq. And number 1 overall will be Steph Curry. So now let's go into the best players you can craft. So your best craftable players, we're going to start with Tony Parker, CJ McCollum, Chris Bosh, Harrison Barnes, and Giannis. Now, if we look at the best team overall, we'll do the true position rating again. Point guard will be Steph Curry. Point guard will be Steph Curry. Shooting guard will be Dwayne Wade. Small forward will be LeBron. Power forward will be Giannis. And center will be Shaquille O'Neal. Best team based off of power at point guard will be Stephen Curry. At shooting guard will be Zach LaVine. At small forward will be Carmelo Anthony. At power forward will be Kevin Love. And at center will be Shaq. Now, if you had this team, your base level power will be around 20,318. If you were able to max out all these players, it will go up to 39,000 roughly, right? Stephen Curry maxed out will be around 50,000. Zach LaVine maxed out will be around 25K. Melo will be around 47,500. Kevin Love will be around 24,600. And Shaquille O'Neal will be around 48,000. Now, this is without any extra abilities. Now, the best team overall based off of stats. At point guard will be Ben Simmons. At shooting guard will be Dwayne Wade. Small forward will be LeBron. Power forward will be Giannis. And center will be Jokic. So as you can see, the Halloween theme was really fire when it first dropped. Now, there's a couple of sets that you need to get, right? I'm only going to speak about the top set, because I know that now that we broke down the players, you're going to want to grind for Carmelo Anthony. He is definitely worth grinding to get the set, or grinding the event to get him as the top reward, right? So you're going to need CJ McCollum, which takes 10 collectibles, unless you can get these players from the events. DeMar DeRozan is the set item reward for the first time around. So you need Larry Nance, Capella, John Wall, Barnes, and Trae Young. Or you can get DeRozan from the Elite Pack. I saw that he was one of the choices, along with the Trae Young. Giannis can be crafted with 12 collectibles. Chris Bosh can be crafted with 21 collectibles. And then DeAndre needs 35. But if you're a Pink Diamond tier player, DeAndre is one of the rewards. So that cuts down that expense for you. So you're only going to need collectibles for CJ, Giannis, and Chris Bosh. So that will be a total of 43 collectibles instead of 78 if you needed to get DeAndre Jordan. That's pretty much it. That is the entire breakdown for this theme. Overall, this is a good theme considering that it wasn't an event the first time around. NBA 2K Mobile was giving out free players from the draft picks. So that's how come a lot of the OGs have almost 100% lineup going into fantasy finals this week. And considering the rewards, these rewards are fire, man. Michael Porter Jr. is decent. Kevin Love is very good. And then Shaquille O'Neal, you definitely got to grind this event. Now, as far as my Halloween squad, as you can see here, we got the 100% already. My team is really low, so we're going to have to make some enhancements. Let me know in the comment section, right, if you got up to this part. If you guys want to see me do a pack breakdown and also do a pack opening. I hope you enjoy the content because I do enjoy making it and compiling these stats. And I'm working on some things in the future where we can add some perks for the members of the channel, which will include some access to some of these stats. All right. So again, appreciate all the support. Thank you. Peace out.